If you apologize for everything, then you're not apologizing for anything, and you might just be making things worse. Why do people apologize when they've done nothing wrong? It's something that a lot of people struggle with, myself included. And we know that we haven't done anything wrong, and yet we're still apologizing. What is that? What is that about? Let's see what the heart of the issue is first. We have the Ace of Swords in reverse. Sorry for the glare. The Ace of Swords is about a new thought, new perception, new way of thinking, something along those lines. We have Temperance, which is about patience, moderation, those sorts of tendencies. Some might call virtues. The Queen of Pentacles, which in this deck is the Queen of Shields. In this deck, well, not in this deck, but for me, the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing homemaker. Her job is taking care of the house and making sure that things run smoothly. Or as smoothly as they can, because, you know, chaos is a thing. And we have the Nine of Pentacles, which is, in this deck, a card about letting go of what no longer serves so that you can make room for that Ten of Pentacles utopia. So why people apologize when they've done nothing wrong? Honestly, what this comes down to is wanting to make everybody happy and not knowing what to say. You have been informed that you have done something wrong, whether that's, you know, annoying someone or I don't know, whatever you did, it just didn't occur to you that the consequence would be negative for someone. And you don't know what to say, so you say, I'm sorry. You're not taking ownership of it, it's just the thing that you say. And let me tell you, it really annoys people. So, anyway, it stems from wanting everybody to be happy, everybody to coexist, to nurture and all that, and you don't know what the magic phrase is, so your magic phrase is, I'm sorry. So why does it annoy everybody else? Because to me, that's a natural thing. Why is it such a problem for everybody else? We have the Five of Swords, which in this deck is about licking your wounds and accepting your losses. And we have the Six of Cups, which is about basically friend groups that mutually care and support each other, hanging out for the first time in a while, you know, nostalgia, that sort of stuff. And we have the Hangman in reverse, which is not stopping to think about the path that led to these consequences. Okay, that's why it annoys them. Because you're saying it, but it doesn't mean anything. You're not saying, I apologize for the thing I did that is annoying you. You're just saying empty words because that's what you were taught to say. So people take that as empty and meaningless. They take it as you're not even stopping to think about whether or not you're even sorry. Like, what would you be sorry for? Why are you apologizing? You know, apologies are meant to take ownership, show growth, or at least allow an opportunity for growth, and show your peers and other people that you care about that you respect them, you care about them, and you're willing to do the work when you have harmed them in some way. That is what apologies are for. So if someone says, oh my God, you're being so annoying, and you say, I'm sorry, and they say, stop, you are always apologize, and you say, I'm sorry, well, that's where we get into this territory. That's not you apologizing for apologizing all the time. That's you apologizing for annoying them. So it's not that you're constantly apologizing, it's that you don't mean anything by it. You're not doing any work, you're not doing any growth, you're not looking into anything. You're just saying the words because that's what you were taught to say, and you just want everyone to be happy. Okay. So what's your advice, Spirit? What should people like us do instead? We have the Queen of Swords. You need to speak clearly. And we have the King of Swords. Okay. Well, then we're going to stop pulling because that's a telling message in and of itself. And also, my cards don't want to go back in. Anyway, you need to speak clearly and you need to speak with intention. If you're going to say the words, I'm sorry, you need to say, I'm sorry because, I'm sorry for, so that you're actually taking ownership of something you're doing wrong. If you can't think of anything that you should be taking ownership of in that way, then don't say I'm sorry. Say, oops, or, you know, I didn't realize I was doing that, or my bad. Something not so triggering as the phrase I'm sorry, because for some people they have heard the phrase I'm sorry a lot of times with exactly zero change from those people. So you might actually be triggering some stuff there. But that's not your problem, that's their problem. Your problem is that you're apologizing for things you don't need to apologize for, and people think that that either you have very low self-esteem and therefore need to apologize for just existing, which is just not the truth, or they think you don't understand what you're saying and you're not really taking in what they're saying. And that is equally frustrating. So, for those of us who constantly say, I'm sorry, because that's just, it's the shorthand, you need to change your messaging, change your wording to I'm sorry for, or I'm sorry because. And honestly, hopefully over time you'll learn to deprogram that out of your typical speech patterns. Any other final guidance? We have the Ten of Pentacles, or I'm sorry, the Two of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. And the King of Cups. You're not going to make everybody happy. We all know this. That's a cliche thing at this point. So when someone is annoyed or upset or whatever, and it's not that big of a deal, honestly, the best thing you can do is laugh. Just find a way to laugh about it. Don't say I'm sorry. Laugh about it. Be a normal human being and, who has flaws and feelings and all of those things. And it's okay to have all of those things. It's okay to be a flawed individual. That's why we're here. If you were perfect, you wouldn't need to be here to learn lessons. So you don't need to constantly strive to be better than you are or you feel you can be in the moment. You just need to learn to take yourself less seriously because life is short, and honestly, the worst of our current situation as a global community isn't even over yet. So, try not to take yourself so seriously, try not to take others so seriously, and try to get I'm sorry out of your vernacular unless you're genuinely taking ownership of something. So that's all I've got, and I'll see you on the next one.